If there's one thing kids love, it's TV shows aimed directly at their age group. Whether it's tales of transforming robots straight from Japan or mystical creatures living in their own backyards, the shows we watch as kids tend to be remembered as some of the best we ever witnessed. But maybe they actually were. So for studios looking to turn nostalgia into box office dollars, they should at least be turning to the right ones. Here are 10 amazing kids TV shows that would make awesome movies. M.A.S.K. from Hasbro. In a world where former toy lines like Transformers and G.I. Joe can become large-scale movies, why wouldn't a movie mixing the best of both worlds work even more? Especially with some Mission Impossible thrown in there just to be safe. The operatives of M.A.S.K, the Mobile Armored Strike Command, rely on super-powered masks, transforming cars, and space-age technology to keep the evil forces of Venom at bay. Since there isn't much beyond those plot points that would need to be adapted, there's no reason why the right writers couldn't make a M.A.S.K story worth telling. Gargoyles from Disney. When an ancient team of gargoyles, noble warriors who turn to stone during the day, are lifted from a Scottish castle all the way to New York City, it's the ultimate fish-out-of-water story. Except the fish are ancient winged creatures eager to explore the modern world. It didn't take long for the cartoon to become a massive hit, and its themes and stories are already dark enough to appeal to an older audience. There's no doubt about it, a big screen take on Goliath and his gargoyles couldn't just work. It's a hit in the making. Voltron. This one's an easy sell. A team of 5 people all pilot massive robot lions that, when combined together, form a towering robotic warrior known as Voltron, defender of the universe. You shouldn't really need any more reasons why this would work, since kids didn't when the cartoon first made its way to American homes. Despite being written and acted in Japanese and deciphered without a translator, the lions were cool enough to make Voltron the most successful syndicated kids show of its time. So if the time is right for a Power Rangers reboot, Voltron can't be too far behind. Thundercats. What could be better to a kid than hearing they might one day wake up in a full-grown heroic body, ready to do battle like a cartoon hero? That's the main plot of Thundercats, when Lion-O and his group of friends travel from their doomed planet to Third Earth, arriving and waking from stasis to find that they're now full-grown. The villain, enemies, and larger mythology of the Eye of Thundera all make it an even better story, but considering the show's place in pop culture, nobody needs any convincing. Power Rangers. It's one thing to be chosen to become a martial artist superhero, but given a robotic animal to pilot on top of it, the Power Rangers are the kings of kids' cartoon heroes, recruited to battle the galaxy's worst villains just for being teenagers with attitude. It's hard to know what the real hook of the show actually is, the teens transformed into neon-colored ninja warriors, or when they're forced to combine their individual vehicles into the epic Megazord to take on an oversized enemy. It's easy to see why a Power Rangers movie is actually in production, but the filmmakers still need to capture the spirit while keeping it cool for more than just the die-hard fans. Samurai Jack. It's honestly surprising that this series hasn't already been adapted to live action, since its unique story and inspired premise basically demand it. When the title samurai has completed the training needed to defeat the evil demon Aku, his enemy pulls a fast one, sending the samurai far into the future, buying himself enough time to prepare for his attack. Dropped into a technologically advanced but fascist and dystopic society, Samurai Jack must find his way home to keep the world ruled by Aku from ever existing, as Aku sends wave after wave of killers and lighthearted hitmen to take him out. Time travel, samurai, demons, what more could you want? Biker Mice from Mars. It may be the most far-fetched premise on the list, but trust us, the story of 3 mice men from Mars who protect Earth from the evil that destroyed their home planet from the backs of customized motorcycles is one worth seeing adapted. The fact that they're actually mice men could be hard to swallow, but the story of 3 grease monkey aliens could give fans of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles another franchise to root for, and give the Biker Mice a modern reboot to learn from. Silverhawks. We've got shows in space and shows following cops, but what about a cartoon series following futuristic cops with metallic wings? That's right, the Silverhawks may not be the most original idea for a kids show, but it's hard to argue just how cool they are. The show was a spiritual successor to Thundercats in several ways, so assuming that the same connection could be translated to the big screen, with a big enough budget to do their winged crime fighting justice, this would be a definite hit, especially in the rage of the shared universe at all cost. Cops. To be clear, we mean the cartoon series Cops, not the primetime Cop series. No, we're referring to the Central Organization of Police Specialists. In other words, a team of the very best lawmen and women from across America, all recruited to stop Big Boss from taking over Empire City. Did we mention their leader was almost killed by Big Boss and had his torso replaced with cybernetic parts? If the idea of a RoboCop team-up aimed at kids doesn't get your hopes for a great action comedy soaring, that's your own fault. Dungeons & Dragons. Ask any fan of role-playing games, or D&D in particular, and they'll tell you that as cool as it is to step into the shoes of a monster or witch hunter, just playing as one doesn't even come close to seeing it on the screen. Thanks to this animated series, kids could dream that they too would plunge into the distant world of Neverland, only to wake up having been shrunk down into a forest-sized game of chess, and having the mysterious dungeon master assign them their skills. In other words, in a world where lines between video games and all other entertainment are starting to blur, seeing a group of kids have to deal with that revelation would make a fantastic film. That was our list of 10 amazing kids TV shows that would make awesome movies. But which ones did we leave out? Let us know which ones you think would make great films in the comment section.